everyone. Welcome back to Lise Loves Paper. I'm Elise, and today I'm here with something a little bit different. So I have a mess in front of you, and I'll explain why. I just wanted to give you something to look at in the meantime. So I'm going to my first ever crop. I have never been to a crop before, or a retreat, whatever you call it, and I'm really, really excited. And I know that it's traditional to do a packing for the crop video, and I am going to do one, but I'm going to do it with a little bit of a twist because this one is different in a few ways. And I don't think me going in as a newbie, this is, my first actual crop, it's not going to be very helpful if I just say, hey, this is what I'm bringing. Because I don't know what I need. I've never really been, and yes, I can look at a million different videos and lists online, and I have, and get kind of an idea, but I think it won't be useful to you if I'm just regurgitating that. So one more thing. The other reason that this one is different is because this is a crop that is very close to where I live. I am able to drive to it every day and drive home. I am not traveling to it. I don't have a limit on space. I will have my own car. Plus, I will be able to go home every night. I will go home every night, and I can make a list of the things that I need and bring them the next day. So in that sense, telling you what I'm going to pack beforehand, I think is not as helpful. And so for this crop, I'm going to do a 2-video series. This first video, which you're seeing right now, which is more about the packing and the plan and everything like that. And then a second video, which I will share what I actually made, whether that's 2 layouts or 20. I have no earthly idea what I'll get through. And then this video that you're watching, I am also going to divide that into 2 parts. And so right now you're watching the first part. Luckily for you, I'm going to smush them all together into one video so you don't have to wait. But in this first part, I'm going to kind of walk you through my tentative plan, the plan. And every time I say that in my head, I get a vision of From 10 Things I Hate About You. Please tell me I'm not the only one with Julia Stiles when she's explaining the plan to the teacher when she tries to break Heath Ledger out of detention. Anyway, I'm going to explain the plan to you and kind of walk you through a few things. And then in the second part of the video, I will try and share with you pictures of like my cart once it's all packed and my setup at the crop, maybe a couple quick videos there. But then at the end, that's when I'm going to share with you what I actually packed, how it looked, and that way I can tell you, like, hey, I packed this and I never touched it once. Or, hey, I got to the crop and on the second day I realized I needed this thing that I brought from home. So at the end, I will have a better picture, a more rounded picture of what I actually used and needed. And so that's the way I'm going to kind of format this. And I hope that that's helpful to you because I think in this case, hindsight definitely is 20/20, and you guys have the benefit of not having to wait for that if I do it in this format. So anyway, that's the plan. I hope you like that plan. Now I can get to the plan and why I have all this stuff. So I have actually traveled to scrap before, just not at a crop. Like I have driven up to Asheville from our house, which is about, I don't know, 2 hours or so from here, to a cabin with my husband, and I have brought stuff in that sense. And so I have written myself little packing lists before, and I am basing my list now off of those packing lists because those lists have very helpful things on them, like my trimmer, the things that are easy to forget, white cardstock, refill tape, refills for my trimmer blade, things like that are on there. And I will share that list, whether it's a screenshot here or in some other fashion for you. But it's a very basic list. It's like all the ones that you have probably already seen. To bring adhesive and to bring, stickers and blah, 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 blah. That's just mostly so I don't forget the big things that are easy to forget if you're not thinking about them. The other part is that I have this tool caddy. Actually, let me go grab it and show it to you. So I have this tool caddy. It is full of art stuff right now because I take this to my mixed media class, and I am going to take all of the mixed media stuff out and put my most used supplies in this. So it is by Art Smith. I think you can get anything like this. This is from Joann's. I think it's their house brand, and I quite like their house brand of art stuff. But it's just one of those caddies with a very empty big middle and then like pockets all around the outside. Around the outside. I had to do that for Adele. So I'm going to empty this out, and this is where I'm going to store, I think, my tools and stuff like that, so I can keep it all contained and it'll sit on my desk. That's my plan for my tools. And then the plan for the rest of the stuff is I didn't want to just bring anything willy-nilly. So I've actually been hoarding a couple of kits, and it looks like I have a ton of kits. And I do. These are all Mercy Tiara kits you can see here. But I will tell you that 2 of these kits, this one, the Adventure Awaits, and the Bloom kit here, I have already dug into and started using. So those are only partial kits. I have 3 full kits. This travel add-on from Adventure Awaits, which was a couple months ago. I'm not sure what she still has, but all of these were from the most recent months. So hopefully if you're interested in these kits, she still has them. And then I have the last 2 months, which were June and July, the Sunshine kit and the Summer Lovin' kit. And within these kits, I have also pulled from my stash things. So this Adventure Awaits add-on, I knew what collections were in it, and so honestly I had gotten a couple of orders and had gotten things that were not part of the kit but went with the kit because I knew that it had that collection in there. So I went ahead and put those there as well. So I'm going to bring these, a couple of extra papers. I didn't put them inside the kit just because I wanted to show you that they're separate. I probably will for travel purposes just to make it easier, but I have done that with this kit as well, the Summer Lovin' kit. I had found, oh, I'm about to knock something off my desk, this Moda Scrap. I don't usually buy from them, but the colors in this were just too perfect for the colors in this kit. They went so well, plus it's kind of a beachy summer theme, and I look at these, hang on look at these little toucans. Oh my gosh, and the shrimp. I loved it, and I've never bought one of the 6x12 paper pads. I've been interested in them, so I'm curious. So I got it knowing that I had this kit coming and it would work really well, and it had some really great like neutral patterns. Oh, it has 3x4 cards. That's fun. Some great neutral patterns in there as well, but some just fun travel, summery. I like this one too. So things like that. And then I had gotten the die cuts that come with it because, again, those gulls and the toucans and stuff. Ah, so cute. And then this I just had sitting on my desk. And I thought, again, the colors went, so I had a title. Why not go ahead and just bring it? Hopefully I will use it up. So that's kind of the plan, is to mix and match and not bring a ton of extra stuff. And then, let me put this in here. The other thing that I brought is this. And this was from one of the more recent Crop and Create delivered online things. This was a class from Jana Eubank, and she had always done these gorgeous mini books, and I am not a mini book person. I think I've said that before. I just kind of struggle with them, but these are like pre-done. I'll show you some of the back. Like, she gives you all these pages, and they're just, you're pre-made, and you really just have to pop photos and embellishments. She does give you the embellishments, but I didn't put any embellishments on here because I like to embellish in my own way. But what I did here, I thought that we've had a very, very busy summer, more busy than we normally do, and I thought that this album would be perfect for documenting it. And so what I went ahead and did here is I did pre-print some photos and put them in here so that I can start documenting our summer, which is why the back of it is not done, because there are some things in here. My daughter has another volleyball camp. I want to have at least one photo in here of my first ever retreat. And then my son and I are going to New York City for a couple days for his birthday. And so those are gonna go with the back of this. So that's why it's not completely done, but I did pre-print photos. They're not glued in, clearly they're just kind of shoved in there, and the plan can change. So that's the plan there. So I have a lot. I've heard from people that you think you're going to get a ton done and you might get absolutely nothing done or very little done because you spend so much time talking. And if I have too much, I have too much, but I am one of those people, I fear having too little always, which is, it's just me. I like having options. I'm not somebody who thrives on having limits. That's why I've told you before, kits don't work for me because I always have to pull things from outside of the kits, which is why I'm bringing so many kits so I can mix and match. And also I do plan to bring, these are all my DIY embellishments. I made some more recently. And then I think I've talked to you about this before. This is a little bin that sits on my desk, and it's all the new stuff I got. And this is not all of the new stuff, but it's the new stuff that I thought would work well with what I'm bringing already. And so it has some big sets. Like, I know that this goes with some of the stuff in the kits. We have title bits and stuff. So I'm hoping that with that, it's enough. I don't have to bring my other embellishments or anything like that. Who knows? I might change. We'll find out very soon. I'm also planning to punch more hearts and stars and bring them with me. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to travel with me yet. That's a problem I still have to solve. And then as far as the tools and stuff like that, I have the list. I told you about that. But you've also seen my caddy. I will try and insert a picture of it here right now. But because I pull that out every time I scrap and I put it beside me, and that's where everything kind of lives, my plan is to kind of go through the top of that caddy and just pull out my most used things and bring those with me in that caddy I showed you. So anyway, I've talked a lot. Hopefully this will be more coherent at the end when you actually get to see my setup, like what it looks like packed in the cart, what my setup at the table looks like, and then when I go through what I brought, what worked, what didn't, that kind of thing. So see you very soon for that. Hello everyone, a quick handheld video for you right before I go to the retreat. I apologize, I will try very hard not to make anybody sick, but I wanted to show you my cart. So first of all, it's one of those carts that collapses, and I got it from Amazon, of course, so I can link it below for you if you want. But I just kind of wanted to show you my setup in here. It is not stuffed full, but here is that tote that I was showing you, and I have thrown, this is just my little trash can, my tabletop trash can, and I toss it on top. I will walk you through that later to show you what I have in it. Back here, I brought a seat cushion to make it more comfortable to sit because I read that was a good tip. And then this here is like a folding lap bed table thing. And I'm going to use that kind of like a shelf riser on my table so that I have some extra space. I have my trimmer right here. In front of that, I have this empty container, and this is just to bring my, oops, sorry, that was a kitty in the background, to bring my finished layouts in. I could also put them in this thing. Now this, I think I've shown you guys before, is my We Are Memory Keepers accordion file folder thing, and that's just kind of where I put the kits that I'm bringing so that they're held together and in a more sturdy thing. Also in the front of it, I threw in some extra papers. So I have some gold glitter paper. They're very neutral papers that are good for layering. So there's this heart vellum I just got. I think it's by Minte Papers. Some stripes, ignore that. Wood grains, more wood grains, stuff like that. So I don't have a ton of them. I also put in my white cardstock there, okay? In front of that is, this is that little mini album envelope that I told you about. It just wouldn't fit in here with the others because the mini album is so chunky. Here we go. Now right in front of that, I just brought this whole thing because it's all my tiny word stickers. So I brought it with me. And this right here is that container that I had shown you with all of my new stuff, from the big things to the short things in front. Let's see. Beside that, I have this container. This is from Target, and I just put all my letter stickers in there. And yes, that is a lot of letter stickers to bring, but you guys know how much I love to make titles, long titles, and mixed font titles. And so I felt like this was kind of necessary for me. After, we will talk about that and see if it actually was. So there's that. And then in the back here, I have, these are my DIY embellishments and a few other extra papers and bits and bobs I want to try and use in here. I will take them out and put them in, where's that, this container that's down here. but for travel, I wanted them in a container. And then I brought a zippy container with my twine and some washies. And down there, this right here, let me get it out. This is a container that I put my little hearts and stars in. And I covered it just with some Glad press and seal so that I can close it. But so that the stars did not stick to this part of the press and seal on the inside, I've just put a piece of tissue paper. So we'll see if that works. I think it will, just because I'm not traveling in a plane or anything, so it shouldn't get shaken around too much. Then over here, this whole bag is my selfie refills, the cord and everything like that. And then underneath it, I have an extension cord thing. That's what that is down there. I should have, hopefully, power. And then this is a lamp that I got because I like to have bright light, and that's one of the things I saw recommended a lot. It's cool because it has this little cup, so I can put like pens in there so they don't go wandering off. But overall, I think I did pretty well, not overpacking. The tricky thing now, since this is in my craft room in the basement, is twofold. Getting it to my car, because I can't travel with it like this in my car. It's too heavy for me to pick up and put in my trunk and to get out. So what I think I'm going to do is put most of it in like a laundry basket that I can easily pick up, and we'll keep it kind of contained in my car and then transfer it back into this once I get there. The second problem, let me walk you over here very slowly and see, is that Tropical Storm Debbie is here. And I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but it has been absolutely pouring and the wind has been blowing. So I'm not sure what to do. I think I'm gonna try some contraption with trash bags and stuff. So I'll let you know how that goes. See you guys on the flip side. Bye. And now here is my desk at the crop I'm trying to show you. There's my little laptop stand with my trimmer and camera or photo printer on top, my caddy underneath, my little bag there with the twine, my tools that I kept often, trash can, light, all my dimensional embellishments were sitting there, and my tape gun. I had my desk pad out. You can see all of my finished layouts sitting right there. And then to the left of the desk, I had my embellishments, letters, and then that's where I kept the kit I was working on. And then underneath, I had tucked my cart. I tried to pull it out so I can keep some things there that I didn't need. Hello everyone, I am back from the retreat, and as promised, I'm going to kind of walk through the things that I brought and tell you what I used and what I didn't use. Spoiler alert, I used almost everything and I didn't forget too much. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet because this video is already getting very long, but hopefully you don't mind. I will try and link these things down below for you if you're interested in them. So the first thing that I can't show you right now is that cart that I brought. You should hopefully have seen it in the previous clips or pictures. It's that teal and navy one, and it was amazing. And I was not the only one with a cart or wagon like that. Highly recommended. You can get them any sizes, any fancy configurations you want on Amazon, but I will link you the one that I got. Also, I brought this guy, so it was a power brick. It had USB and USB-C, and then this thing I think is 15 feet long because I wasn't sure what I'd be going into. They had power under the tables real close to me, so I didn't need one this long, but I was glad to have it. And I did use a lot of these. I shared with somebody next to me as well. I also brought this little lamp. It's an LED lamp. And it was invaluable to have that extra light. I loved having it. Again, you can get any number, flavor, color of these on Amazon. I will link for you below the one that I got. I love that it had this like pen holder, and it was great. I did keep my pens and similarly shaped things in here, and it was great to keep my desk clean, and I knew where things were. They also sell one with a little ridge right here so that you can like set your phone up if you wanted to do that. This thing was a seat pad because I know that when I scrap for too long, my back hurts. I was very glad to have this. It's, sorry, upside down for you. It's by Everlasting Comfort. Comes in different colors. This is just a standard one. Again, I'll link it below. Again, you can get any number flavor of these things. I was glad I had it. Let's see, what else? This thing you saw on my desk, it's a laptop tray table thing. Oop, sorry. I loved having this. I've seen people use shelf risers and stuff like that, and people near me did have them. This one worked really well for me because it was taller underneath it, that I was able to put my tool caddy mostly underneath it, and it worked really well for me, and it was a fairly inexpensive option. Again, Amazon, you can get anything similar. You don't have to get that one. Okay, in my tool caddy, I think I told you I was just going to pack this by grabbing everything on my rolling cart that was most used, and that worked really, really well for me. I used almost everything in here, I think. Here's that desktop trash bin. Loved having this. In here, I brought these two rulers. I use this ruler a lot. Didn't use the T-square as much, but I did use it once or twice. I did bring this desk pad, but I did not end up using it because, okay, my phone is recording weirdly. Hopefully this is coming through. I did bring this self-healing mat. It's from Recollections at Michael's. You can get it if you want a teeny tiny one. I did not end up using this because I did end up bringing my desk pad from home. It's one of those things that I did forget because I wasn't sure I'd need one. I don't use it that often, but the tables that they had at the retreat were they were kind of rougher wooden tables, a bit plywoody, and so like my papers and stuff would get stuck and it was harder for me, so it was easier to have this nice smooth surface to work on. My trimmer, I did use that. I did use, this is my We Are Memory Keepers hole punch. My ATG, I did use that. I threw these in here, the mint tape, and then some washi tape that I don't care about to use. You see me use those in videos. I use them all the time. For adhesive, I did bring a roll of foam tape and these foam adhesive sheets that I've linked you before. And then this is like that off-brand Amazon red line tape, and you can see it's almost gone. I did have to order more of that. I did bring these, didn't use them, but they don't take up a lot of space. Let's see what else. These are the two scissors I brought. I used both of them. I also brought these. I did use all of these X-Acto knives, and then this bone folder for rub-ons. Let's see. These are all of the pen-like tools that I used. So I brought some gel pens. My gel pen ran out, so you'll see when I show you what I made. So that's why I brought an extra one. This one ran out on me. I did use the Zig Photo Writer pencil. I used a ton. My Micron, this is the 0.455, but I mean, the 0.5 is almost exactly the same. This is a pen they just gave us, an ink pen. You guys know I use this all the time, and I also use this a lot for sequins. I use my roller date stamp. I think this is from One Canoe 2. And then the archival ink. I had brought my StazOn, didn't end up needing it, but it didn't take up any extra space, so I was glad I had it. Let's see. I did use this toward the end when I was working on my mini album, so I'm glad that I brought this. This is that powder tool to anti-stick things. Let's see what else we have. Nothing over here. This over here, I just had some white sticky notes, which I did use to write notes to myself, and I had my staple refills in there, but I did not end up needing that. Let's see what else. That's extra foam. It should go back in here. I brought this in case I wanted to staple in the middle of a page and I needed an extra foamy thing, and I did not end up using it. My Tim Holtz tiny attacher, did use that. Of course I used this, my glue. I brought some glue dots because sometimes I use them. I did not use them this time. Let's see. I brought these as well. So the Tombow Mono, did not end up using this, but I did use this, the scrapbook roller. I like this for when I have finer things that I want to adhere when I don't want to wet glue. Like if they're really intricate at the edges, I'll run this over the edges to make sure that they stick really well. So that was all for my tools. And honestly, I kept almost everything in here and just slid it under that laptop table on my desk. This, my ruler, my ATG, both of my scissors, my glue, I kept out on my desk next to me while I was working, but the rest of it kind of stayed in here and I could slide it out and get things and slide it back in, and it was perfect for that. Okay, what else? I did, of course, here, let me move these, use my trimmer all the time. Glad I had my full-size one. I brought my selfie in this bag. This is an old bag. You probably can't get them anymore from Me and My Big Idea is a Happy Planner. I love these things. They're so great. And this one's the perfect size for my selfie to fit the power cord, the selfie itself, the paper tray. And then I did have both an ink and a paper refill in here, and I used both of them, so I'm glad that I had them. I might bring more in the future though. This was all of the letters that I brought. So you can see I brought some small ones as well as some big ones. And the way that I picked my letters was to kind of look at the collections, the kits that I brought, and see what would work with them. And I did use most of them, not all of them. I will say that, of course, I used many more of the neutrals instead of things like this. I don't think I used this. I don't think I used this at all. I did use the yellow, so I'm glad I had it. This came from a kit that I had used. I did not pick that one out. I would say that in the future, I was frustrated because I had, honestly, I didn't realize this, only brought, I had this in a kit. I don't love this font. I only had one black letter set. There it is. One. And that was an oversight. I should have brought more. And then I did the same kind of thing over here. I mostly stuck with neutrals, black, white, gold. I did have this multi in case I needed it because I know that I like to mix titles. So, but it all fit in this one little thing that I just kept on my desk, and it worked really well. So this thing, I had brought this to bring layouts home. I did not need this. I will not bring it in the future because I had this instead, and duh, at least you can put things, layouts in this. But this is that We Are Memory Keepers, like 12 by 12 accordion felt organizer. And honestly, I had stuck all my kits in there. I don't have them in here now because I used most of them up. And I actually used it to transport. These are all layouts that I made home. But I had also put some paper in here. Some extra, like more neutrals that I knew I might want to use, like some wood grains, black and whites. I think going forward, oh, I didn't know I had that in there, that I would bring more papers because, I mean, I brought several kits with me, but that was one thing I was wishing I had more just loose 12 by 12 paper from my stock. Because I had several other layouts that I could do if I had papers that I felt matched the photos. So that's something for me going forward. This, I talked to you about bringing some embellishments. I did use all of these, and I have added to it because of the embellishment packs that came in the kits. I put them in here when I was kind of done using the kit. This was perfect and amazing, and I will do this again because I think it helped to have a lot of embellishments to choose from just because that's the way my brain works. And I also stuck photos in the front of it so that I could have them printed and pull some as I was working, because often I would get there and I would have some coffee and chit chat and print photos while I was doing that, and then I could scrap. And then I did bring my Tiny Words little envelope, and I did use that a decent amount. Before I talk about these, I did want to talk to you about the kits real quick. I had shown you before the kits that I brought in the mini book, and that was perfect. I will totally do that again. I ended up using every single one of them and using most of them, so I can say that I killed those kits. And then the only other stuff that I brought was I had this bag. It's got other stuff in it right now because these came from kits, so those were not in there. I brought some washi and a couple bits of twine, and I didn't use most of the washi, but I did use some of it, and I definitely used the twine a lot. This was for me, here, I'll get for this. These were my little tiny my tiny hearts and stars. I definitely used those, loved that. And it was great to transport them. I think I told you I was going to I just put some tissue paper and then some Glad press and seal, so that way I could seal it up and I knew they weren't gonna go anywhere, but that they would not stick to this because it was covered by the tissue paper. And then the only other thing I did bring my DIY embellishments. I'm not gonna pull it all out, but all of my DIY embellishments, and then just some extra papers and stuff that I wanted to use. Didn't end up using those. I think I used exactly one DIY embellishment while I was there, so I'm not sure I would do this in the future. But that's it. So next I will have a video walking you through everything I actually accomplished while I was there. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions. I am definitely going to do more crops in the future. I'm super excited, so this was a great experience. But thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.